Hey, Chris Good is here. I put money in people's pockets and only take a cut. And I've brought in over $500,000 in sales the past 2 years for my clients. Now, today, I'm going to reveal the three-step framework to demolish any objection and get the sale every time. And of course, using emails, right? Because we love emails. So, if we're in the midst of a launch of a service, of a product, of a program, and we get a question from our audience, it means that that question is very probably in the minds of a good chunk of our audience, right? So we want to isolate that objection question and address it right in our emails. This is why having dynamic email campaigns and not just a full blown out launch to begin with, but dynamic, so you can plug in and plug out emails as the launch transforms is so crucial. Now, you want to get the objection right into the email the way that it's worded from your client. You want it plug it right in, because possibly it's the language that the other people also use. So let's get started. Let's look at an email that I wrote not too long ago for a launch that crossed the "I'm not a techie" objection. So in the first line, I'm so excited for all the folks joining us in the marketing bootcamp. And of course, all names here have been swapped for fake names. I don't want to expose any clients or their programs. So what we have here is that we're pointing out that folks are joining the bootcamp, the accelerator, our program, and we're joining the gap. So whoever isn't joining our program, we're also getting some questions, right? So in a way, we're pointing out that there are people that join us, right? Of course, we don't want to lie, but if people, are joining our program, have bought into the program, we want to say it, and we want to point at them that these people didn't have a problem, they jump aboard, and they're going to get all those amazing benefits as a result. Now, some of the folks who aren't joining us had, some questions. And one of these is this, and you address the objection, right? So step number 2 of the framework is not just, passing, along and saying that it's okay, we'll figure it out, don't worry about the tech. It's totally figure outable. Just buy into the program and we'll, everything will be okay. No, this will, kill the sale faster than anything. You want to dispel the objection inside the email once and for all. How do you do that? If you can, the best way to do it is in the form of a story. So not just plugging in, and many people will plug in just someone that had this problem and overcome it, and this is fine, right? It's even more powerful if you were in the shoes of that person, the way my client was here, and you tell a story, you weave the answer to the objection through a story. And here's how you can do it, for example. Before I started my online business, helping people grow their business using the mechanism, whatever mechanism, I was a full-time postural neurologist. I was a full-time pizza delivery guy, right? After a while, I realized that I wasn't making the impact I wanted to the world, so I'm using the language of the audience here, their desire. They're not making the impact, so they're looking to find a mechanism to make it happen. I had a message to share, but it was chained at the back of my skull while working at the clinic. Now, the more visual you can be, of course, you can say, I was pondering for a while, but it never happened. No, the more visual you can be, the better. So I made the job online, but, and here's the objection, I had the tech skills of a toddler, right? I was a newbie, blah, blah, tried to glue 15 different tools together. However, after trying a lot of things and gluing together different software, I took it upon myself to be the savior in a way, and I've built the only software of its kind designed specifically for hosting the mechanism that we're selling, right? So what I just walked you through is basically a short version of the mad scientist hero's journey. And why is that? Because basically we get into the shoes of the prospect, right? And we're playing the role of a mad scientist that, he was struggling. He became the guinea pig and he tried all this different stuff and, blow some stuff up, some stuff blew up in his face, but in the end he came out victorious out of the lab, and now he's bringing the solution to you. That's pretty much the mad scientist's hero's journey. So now we're pointing to us as the person who been there, done that, and solved the objection. So that's step 2. Now, how do we reinforce it and take it to the next level? Because another objection might come up and say, okay, it worked for you, but will it work for me? I mean, yeah, you tried all those different stuff, but how do I know it will work for me? Me. I know we're all about us, right? So the way you can do it is inject another little story, and then there's the a random person testimonial where it could come in and say something like, as we build our mechanism together, before Mandy joined us, she was also hamstrung with the back-end tech. She was feeling stuck trying to glue together her ex while having tech headaches, not tech issues, tech headaches, visual, right? But when she joined our thing, she got it all done in 3 days. And she had everything she needed to host her mechanism with certainty. That's what people are after at the end of the day. Certainty. Certainty that they're not going to be left alone, and they're going to reach their end goal. So at the other end of an objection, there's always the certainty. That's what we're pretty much trying to answer, right? The only answer is certainty. That's what we're providing when we answer every objection. And also a smart thing to do, a little tip here, is to actually link to the testimonial, not just say a couple of lines and the story, but actually link to it, because you're doing 2 things here. And I know I'm blabbering too much, but this will help. When you put an actual video testimonial inside, people are, they're hearing it from the actual customer, which is very powerful. Number 2, you're conditioning them to click links from you. So they're not just clicking links to buy from you, because that's what most people do. You're injecting other links in there. So you're telling them, it's safe to click on my links. I'm not just selling you stuff, right? Just take a look at this testimonial and decide if this is something for you. This is a very subtle thing, but it can be very, very powerful, especially when you send regular emails. After that, you've addressed the objection in its entirety, and you're free to move on to your offer, make your pitch, and go for the sale, right? So to summarize, step number 1, address the objection as is. You don't want to say, some people, came to me, they're worried about the tech problems. No, take the exact quote and plug it in your email, because that's the language your prospects use, and it's very possible that all of them use the same kind of language pattern. Now, step number 2, if you can inject a personal story, if you can use the mad scientist story and the hero's journey, even better. So you tried all this different stuff, you experimented, and you found out the winning one. And you came out of it as the victor. Step number 3 is provide an actual testimonial of a person who actually overcame the problem that they're asking about, and actually portray it. Don't just talk about it, don't just tell a story about it, but show it, right? This is the 3-step formula to demolish any objection and get the sale. Hope this was helpful. Signing out.